My name is Charles Watler, and I attended Savannah School here in 1949.
My name is Alita Soto, me Borden. I started school at the age of 8 because at age 7 I was diagnosed with kidney trouble and was unable to attend for a whole year.
My name is Albert Hislop. I started school in 1945 at the age of 7 and finished at 14 in 52.
My name is Dorothy Watler, and I started school at the Savannah Primary at age 7 in the year 1950.
I'm Marlies Watler, and I started Savannah Primary School at the age of 5 in 1969.
I'm Hartman Acosta, and I'm born in 1937, but I didn't go to school until 45. I came to school at the age of 8. Well, all my schooling was done here, so that's where we all learned to be solid citizens of this island.
My name is Otto Watler. I was born on 12th of March 1934. I started school at 7 years old, and all of my schooling was done in the schoolhouse. You can do the math on that.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rhonda from National Trust. And National Trust, the Old Savannah Schoolhouse is one of the properties that we actually manage. And so today we're sitting down with some of the past students from that attended the school. So I want to once again thank you for being here. And today we just want an opportunity to hear your experiences of attending the school. So I'm just going to ask a few questions, and feel free to share any of your memories, your experiences. So the first question I have is, the schoolhouse is a one-room schoolhouse. How many students attended the schoolhouse at any one time?
I would say the maximum, the time I attended was 30, I guess.
Okay.
I was putting it a large figure, I guess.
It was 44, the maximum.
Wow, 44 students in that one room.
That's right, that was the maximum.
And how was that managed?
Because we had a genius teacher. And she wasn't even a qualified teacher, but she was a Caymanian who went to school same as we did, came out and passed on her knowledge to the rest of us. Can you imagine about 8 different classes, one person handling it, and that amount of students?
Yeah. And I read too that the students were grouped according to age. Is that?
That's right, yeah. You had the lower division and you had the upper division. The lower division came in from 7 years old, I would say, to about 10. It was separated. And they used to use different books from us up here in the higher bracket.
Okay. You had something to add, Mr. Go ahead.
I can't say too much more than what he said.
Oh.
I know that we all sat in groups. Girls on the right, boys on the left.
That's right.
And the oldest one sat in the back.
When I was going there, I think we were the last set of students to go through. We had a class, the schoolhouse was divided in two, there was the kindergarten, I guess, the younger ones, and my sister and her group was above in the other half of it. It was 2 students, Miss Clark and Miss Florence West. They taught, that schoolhouse was separated in 2. They had a round table in the first section. We all sat around that, and then it had regular tables, I guess, for the other students and the older ones.
Okay. And you had, at one point, there was one teacher.
One teacher was all we had.
Yes.
For at least 100.
In later years, they did have Ms.
Later
West.
on they had it.
In later years, they had Ms. West, Florence West.
I never went.
Oh yeah, I didn't go to her, but they had it.
But that was after I left.
Yeah,
school.
that was after I left too. Yeah, Ms. Seulin had her.
Yeah.
And what topics did you cover at school? Do you remember any of your topics, subjects that you would have learned?
Yeah, we covered quite a few. We had I used to like that. They had a subject called English and dictation, and the teacher would get up on the stage and read a certain portion, and you would have to write it down, and then she would correct it when it was finished, and the standard was fair, or no, it would be poor, very poor, fair, good, very good, excellent. If you got them, if you got excellent, boy, you know, you felt like you were doing
felt good.
something. Yeah. But the discipline was very strict. You know, she had a strap, and sometimes she'd throw that strap at you. And when you bring it, when you carried up to her, you know what was coming.
She didn't miss.
And she had that place on her neck. I always remember that. Anytime you see that star to get rigged, you better watch it. That's Miss Ormond talking about.
Now, I know, Mr. DaCosta, you had mentioned that at the time too, there were no notebooks or textbooks.
Slates.
Slates.
Okay.
Use slates, yeah.
Now, explain to, I guess, our audience, because some of the consumers of this video is going to be students. So they're going to want to know what are slates. So what was slates?
You know, the material, the same slate you use on buildings, but I was putting small pieces of frame around it, and the pencil was made out of the same material, and that's all you had to study from. The textbooks were very scarce, so Lita especially then was fortunate, more fortunate than us. She used to share her textbooks with us to come down there. But the main thing in school was respect.
Oh yeah,
And if you didn't respect your teacher, you were in trouble when you got home.
that's right.
And when we sit in that schoolhouse as children, we thought it was a big place. Once you get to that back bench, you thought you were the side of the teacher, but when a staff would come at you, and she didn't miss. But the embarrassment was you had to take a strap up to her, hold your hand out, and get strapped at least 3 times in your hand.
No, the National Trust should have had that. I don't know where that ever went, because I think that was good leather. That wherever it is,
Should be kept
you know.
there.
But this is just like what Lita said. Nobody cares about our history, and if somebody had went into that schoolhouse when they left it, it was a lot of stuff that from that could be taken into the museum today, like the blackboards, you know, and the dusters and all of that. That is completely. Our children today never heard about them.
Yeah.
And the old ball frame.
Yeah, ball.
Right,
frame.
yeah, that.
Right. That was
We used to call it
That's
ball
what we
frame,
used
but
to
it
all
wasn't
come
named for
from.
that. I can't
Right.
remember. My wife knows the right name.
That
for
has the
it.
pictures of the actual books.
Okay.
These are the books that the upper school had. That's the 5th standard. I don't know through the museum or the archives or what, could try to get a set of them. There are 5 in the set.
And these would be reading
And they had,
books.
all of them lessons had what they call the Latin prefixes in them. And I remember one right now, one was the Latin prefix called con, and the answer to that was together with. That means congregation, you know, C-O-N was taken from that. That all of the rest of the things were taken from that. And every one of them lessons in this had questions to be asked by the pupil, or that pupil, the teacher would ask the pupil, and you had to study them along with the lesson.
Okay.
I'll tell you about some of the books. So we had, the Royal Star Guardians was started off here, but I think during the war, it was difficult, I'm assuming, we couldn't get the books from England that we wanted, so they started the book system in Jamaica called Carbon Reader.
That
Now,
was something else.
if you wanted to lie,
Tips.
that was the book for you.
They had
They
terrible.
had a bunch of animals with all named. The man in charge was Mr. Joe. He had Miss Tibbs with the cat,
Mother hen.
Mother Hen, horses the chick with a bad chick. We had Mr. Grump with the goat. We had the cow, and we had the dog. And the dog. Everyone said down with the dog. But the spider was wait a minute again. Bornancy. He was a smart one. I'll tell you a story on him. You know, he had 4 children, right? So he went out to get food for the family. So he brought home some bananas. Could only get 4, but with 5 of them. So he had 4 children. He started crying. He said, "I love you children so much." So the children said, "We can't make you go hungry." So he got them. They cut them 2, and each one gave him half. So he went up with 4 bananas then, and then one got half. Oh, he was clever.
So it sounds like you all had some clever, interesting stories that you
Yeah,
learned.
that was up until you got to 4th standard. Then after that, we still had, you know, auto say the 5th standard. Now, I was fortunate that I got some of the Royal Star reading, because at that time then I was in 4th form and I only had that book to deal with, the fourth form book. Now that wasn't such a bad book. That's some good history in it, and reading on the card and everything else. But the children who came in and got that little infant book, because that was nothing but foolishness. You know,
But it taught you to read.
It taught you how to read and remember. I remember them stories. I remember one guy said freedom. But after that, like our auto said, we had to use it, we didn't have the books for the whole class, you know, which was some was fortunate. And that was how we went through school. We had, it was separated class, one up to 6th standard. 6th standard place could go in the elementary school.
And about what age?
14 was the cut-off age.
Okay.
If you were studying Jamaica local, they would give you more time to stay in there. And some of the children was fortunate to study Jamaica local. Lily was one, and another one, her sister was.
I'll tell you what happened to me though.
My sister was fortunate enough that she studied, and she got, she was younger than I am, because she's 3 years younger than I am. She got a scholarship to go to high school. We didn't go to high school. Most of us didn't see high school. Well, we got, our elementary school, to me, I went to say, was better than what we get in the primary school right now.
Absolutely.
You ask them anything about Latin prefix, they don't know about it.
You take Albert's sister, I would say that
Eloisa.
the whole school, Eloisa was her name. She's passed on, your soul rest in peace. But I think out of the whole
It was in
school,
19 years.
out of the whole school, she was the smartest.
She was
She went through all
smart.
3 exams, first, second, and third. And let me tell you, when you went through them, that was a big feather in your cap. And we had another one by name of Jewel Jackson, but she's deceased too, that she was down the road there. She passed her 3 exams. And there's the only two that I can bring to remember. Now I know Lita Papa, you all, Carlin started.
No, I can tell you what happened to me.
I thought Carlin took it though.
She took it, but then we went on to
Okay.
Cayman Prep. I thought, I took that, well, stealing was during her time. The first year Jamaica local, and I thought no matter what question they threw at me, I knew it. Because I really studied hard. The morning of the exam, which was it was an old schoolhouse before your time, Georgetown on the waterfront where the
Right.
dock is today. And they had a teacher there, Mr. Hill, and he used to wear his glasses down on his nose, strict guy.
I know where you're coming from now.
So everything was started at 9 o'clock. Everybody was ready to roll. And this girl sitting next to me was a girl from Bodden, and she wouldn't keep her mouth shut. There was somebody next to her that she knew, and she was blah, blah, blah. And there I was trying to concentrate. And about 15 minutes into that, I didn't know one thing till a ruler landed, right, almost hit me on the nose and landed in front of me. I went dumb. That's all I can tell you. Everything I knew went out the door. I failed. When I went home, told my mother, she said, at the end of it, she said, I'm sending you to the prep school. But that's the kind of teachers we had. Can you imagine? I mean, you know, if I had been looking and saw it coming, but this thing dropped in front of me, I wasn't used to anything like that. Well, I know what shock was for people. I'm telling you, I failed. I never did a thing on the test paper. Not one thing.
And you know, there was another time that the group went down to the same schoolhouse she's talking about, and the papers had to come down from Jamaica. And then they would have to work on them and send them back, and then the results, this was in Boko, once every 2 weeks. And when they got down to the school, the papers hadn't come, everybody had to come back home. The exam had to be squashed, they hadn't come on to Simboko. And so were the reports came back from them, called them days, but then the plane. So Simboko was the only
Our lifeline to
or
Jamaica
like
and back.
to the island, you know.